Good evening. So, once again, I am live and I'm live in some time after a few days. I am here discussing a subject that some in the industry may have, some may not have, and some may have just thought about it but may not have put across for some fear or just brushed it aside. The point I want to make here is that where is Ayurveda heading to? This comes into question because when you look at Ayurveda today, the things that are talked about are largely the pharmaceutical drugs, multivitamin supplements, often promoted by various non pharma companies and entities. Some nutritionists talk about it in terms of uh, what you call as herbal or Ayurvedic or something similar. But is it really something that you want to know about Ayurveda, or is it really what Ayurveda is meaning for the future? It is not. Reason, when you look at a system, it should be able to address something that is coming up in future. As a system, what Ayurveda promises or what Ayurveda brings along is that you have to deal with it as a clinical system, which has never been and which is not the focus. Nobody is talking of Ayurveda as a clinical system. There is nothing that, except from Ayurvedic colleges, is discussed, and in so-called government-based Ayurvedic conferences or even international conferences where government bodies or teachers or students come along for their own purposes, that they may talk of a certain research protocol, certain protocol that is about Ayurveda practice, but nothing is about really developing the clinical sciences. The coherence of this fact, that of clinical sciences, is that as a medical science, if you want Ayurveda to be projected, it has to be able to address about 75%, 70% of the population that this country presents. This country is a population of young people. It has 75% or 70% population which is young. More than 55% of the people are in the bracket of 20 to 40, and this population is highly misinformed, misdirected, and misrepresented when you talk of the word Ayurveda. For them, a representation by non-clinical people like Baba Ramdev, like Sri Ravi Shankar, and their promotion by bodies like the government itself undermines the fact that Ayurveda is a clinical science. You pit across a saint from a church who has no background to medicine against modern pharma, against people from modern pharma, and ask them, they will simply brush him aside. Why is it that India or people in the Indian context entertain any such element to be a part of a system which they want to claim as a medical system? A system that they say is supposed to take care, supposed to indulge in direct healing of human body. End of the day, if there is a misinformation, a misrepresentation, a mispropagation, a misapprehension created by uncouth elements who are just not trained. And I would not mind calling them uncouth, because they are. They are not trained to be doctors, they don't have any formal medical training, but yet they represent the system. They are those who become parts of the advisory bodies, and they have faintest of information or faintest of inclinations of what even quality control actually stands for. Forget about knowing what the system is about. The seriousness of the issue is that the people in the age bracket of 20 to 40, they are guided by health coaches, they are guided by nutritionists, they are guided by people in the world of modern medicine who are not even considered as parallels or a part of the paradigm of modern medicine. But modern medicine practitioners use them as touts to promote their medical lab investigation and other investigation agencies, because your health coaches go blindly all over the world seeking for investigations in terms of packages, etc., knowing faintest bit of what the implications of a single investigation in a very broad sense it is. And an Ayurvedic doctor is labeled as a quack, whereas he has had that training to even understand what a lab investigation is all about, what is the coherence of it. And then it is labeled as a quack because it is so-called not a part of the Ayurvedic system. It is modern medicine. The question is, will someday some Ayurvedic doctor, some Ayurvedic physician ever stand up and say, boss, I need my space. I want my space to talk about. Why should a Baba or why should somebody lead my industry when there's nothing around in the space? He has the faintest of knowledge about it. And misguide a population which is my customer base. Come to talk of business, yes, the 55% population between 20 and 40, 75% population between 20 and 60 is my population base. I too have everything in my system that corroborates to a lot of healing activities. Why isn't the education in line to say that yes, modern medicine is just an extension and evolution of an understanding of science, which may not and which necessarily does not mean that it is whole and the complete truth. It is a facet of human development. It is a facet of how sciences and world has evolved. However, it is not a complete science in itself, and actually any of the scientists never claim that modern science is complete. They still talk of evolution. Ayurveda by itself doesn't say it is complete. It only says that with time, with place, with age, with different changing conditions, it will evolve, it will change. Therefore, the focus probably needs to shift from pharmaceutical industry, rather in the sense of modern medicine or in terms of modern business. The pharma industry, the pharmaceutical industry needs to come up, needs to understand that it is they who can actually lead the industry. Modern day clinical sciences of modern medicine were not developed by physicians. They were developed, they were enhanced by technology. And technology came from pharmaceutical industry, from allied industries, which went into investigations from industries of physical sciences, from industries of chemical sciences. And until and unless the Ayurvedic pharmaceutical industry takes this initiative to actually get on the platform of promoting Ayurvedic medical practice, until the day a Himalaya, a Charak, an Amel stops visiting a modern medicine physician, until the day they stop talking about presenting their products to modern medicine people because they give them sales, and instead promote Ayurvedic education on modern medicine lines. They bring the coherence of the two on the platform, and they help develop the Ayurvedic industry together. You will never have an Ayurvedic doctor really standing out. A physician's practice is not built by government's policies. Government's policies are for people. It is politics. Politics is for people. It is for representation of people's vision, not for development of people. Development of people is the job of bureaucracy. It's the job of the managers of the system, of the industry. And that innovation, that space of innovation is vacant. It is dry. There's nothing in that system. So until and unless we have that system coming up, until and unless we have the industry, we have the bureaucrats really stepping in with policies which are to back a population which serves them, a population to which they actually go when they have problems. In this address, I may sound funny, but I must really quote that these people come to an Ayurvedic doctor when they have very specific aphrodisiac issues. For them, an Ayurvedic doctor is all about aphrodisiacs. They don't even know that there's a whole lot to the science. So this is actually a blatant abuse of the doctors, the system. And the doctors must themselves come up. They must say that, yes, like I said a while back, I need my space. I have my science. I know what my science is about. And it's not Vat, Pitta and Kapha alone. There's a whole different paradigm to Vat, Pitta and Kapha, to Panch Mahabhut, to Sattva, Raj, Tam. It's a whole statistical, mathematical science which runs across a scale over the period of age. It's a whole statistical science that evolves over a person's age, right from the point he's conceived till the point of his death. A whole circle of 360 degrees which evolves across 9 months at a certain rate and across 120 years at a different rate. There is a whole statistical mathematics around it. There is a whole nuclear science around it that builds on it. It is a matter of shame that we must accept that foreign countries, foreign universities like places in Germany have been able to build on our knowledge and they promote it in their own language, but we within the country fail. The future lies only when you secure it. And you can secure a future only by proper education, not by policies, not by posters, not by campaigns that are aimed at promoting a certain product. Ayurvedic products are up for sale at any place, at any counter. Anybody can sell because there is no regulation, nothing that accreditates the quality of it. The GMP certification is just good manufacturing practices. ISO certification is just a quality certificate. But there is a lot more of accreditation when it comes to research against a backdrop of what you want the thing to be presented for. If Himalaya claims that Live 52 has a certain quality, it has a certain number of internationally published research papers. That is when it stands on that pedestal, and that's the best part of it. But unfortunately, it enters an MD medicine, a DM cardio's chamber or a DM gastro's chamber to promote a Live 52 and forgets that the person who actually understands is a BAMS, maybe sitting across the street in a different chamber where they would just not enter. Or even if enter, then they are there just to praise him and praise him just because he is an Ayurvedic doctor, not really in the sense that what value he brings to them and what value they bring to his table. And here, even Ayurvedic doctors must be sorry that they don't treat their own pharmaceutical industry with the respect they must. They treat them with disdain. They treat them with a lot of distaste. In my 15 years of career, I have come across a number of Ayurvedic doctors who simply say that Ayurvedic pharma companies are no good. And if I get into the crux of it, they uh, just feel that they must enjoy certain pleasures of financial goodness from them, which probably is not their right. Pharma companies have their own right, but then they also need to understand how do they present themselves. So it's all about ethics of the industry. It's all about who should be doing what, not the overlaps. And especially, there needs to be a restriction on who promotes what. We have never heard a CEO of a pharma company in modern medicine, who might even be say an M.Pharm or a PhD, actually come up and stake claims of their drugs unless there is a controversy. Whereas here in Ayurvedic pharma industry, the people who are just not even anywhere associated with the industry in terms of a background to the knowledge of the industry, they stake claims over public advertisements that this is good and this is bad. That is blandly illegal when you talk of human health. But we are happy promoting it because we say that it promotes the system. An unethical and illegal promotion of the system will, anyways, never be in the interest of the system. It can never be in the interest of the system. I have never really come across policies which stop such people from entering the system. Just as there are restrictions for sale of medicines, just as there are restrictions for sale of alcohol and liquor, just as there are restrictions for sale of narcotic drugs, and all of this is a part of Ayurvedic system. There are medicines which are a part of narcotics. There are medicines which are a part of liquor industry. There are medicines which are metallic, heavy metals, and they go through certain processes to be eligible for that sale. Why are there no regulations to stop their sale just for the sake of it? Why are there no regulations from people who don't question? Why should somebody come up on a television screen and say that this Rasa Aushadhi is all for this purpose without a proper diagnosis and misleading people to start using it? There are incidences where Basant Kusmakar could have hurt people. There are incidences where Ekang Veer Ras could have hurt people. There are incidences where Brihatvat Chintamani could really damage people. But and that damage then goes into the hands of modern medicine, where they blatantly go on to say that these people are quacks. Why? Why is it promoted on the television? Why is it promoted as a newspaper advertisement? Formulations are not to be promoted on newspaper advertisements, are not to be promoted on television advertisements. So somewhere Ayurvedic doctors need to be a little more serious about what they are presenting. It's not about wearing a tie and a coat and a suit, or speaking from an air-conditioned room. It's about standing up for your system, for your own integrity as a doctor. When you say you're a Vaidya or a doctor, Vaidya is just a symbolic name for yourself. But end of the day, you're playing with human health. So let's take it on ourselves. Let's be true to ourselves. And let's accept that, yes, it is time when we want to present ourselves to the business world, to a population across the world, and in times of COVID, where even WHO has come up with a strategy to have a center for traditional medicine in India itself. Probably it is high time we take our call and we take a decision that, yes, we will speak of it as a system. We will not entertain people who are not to be a part of the system because they don't qualify for it. They might be very good people, they might be very well intended people, but they do not form a core of the people who should be representing the system. I'm sorry if I may have offended somebody, but this was a question actually asked to me by somebody in quality standards and accreditations when I was visiting Chennai recently, and this question really left a lot of unsung songs for me that I probably thought I'll try to piece together and sing in my own tone. And yes, it does worry me, because tomorrow, after 20 years, if I have to be in practice, I'll be addressing some of the 20-year-olds today who will just be 40 and at the brink of metabolic disorders and metabolic dysfunctions, where Ayurveda qualifies to be a very good science, in my personal experience as well. It is just that by then, probably it may be just too late, because people who might be leading this would never be doctors, would never be scientists, and would only be people with vested interests in the business. Thank you.